Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to be discussing the sellers and how they take control, and when it's our turn to understand that the buyers are done and it's time for the sellers. So, to focus on the sellers first, we must first understand when the buyers end their reign. Okay, so in this particular case, we can see that on this pound CAD 60-minute time frame here, that the buyers were taking control in this area up until this stage, and then the sellers kicked in. So we want to get an understanding of this area first. Okay, so let's take a look at this very carefully. So the buyers keep making this high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then no higher high. Okay, followed by a lower low. So the reign of the buyers has ended and the sellers starting to dominate. Now, if the seller starts to dominate in this sequence here, notice how the recent lower high was this spot right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark this area. That's the spot right there. So if you look at this as the sellers began from here, can you safely say that all this activity is still below that spot? And if yes, you can automatically get a gauge and understanding that the sellers are still dominant in this case. They're still holding grounds. So you can't switch suddenly into a buy mode thinking that looks like the buyers just came by looking at some strong green candles like there, right there. Okay, so this keeps you really in ground and in tuned with the sell side. So the sell further continues to make lower low, lower high, and it continues to drop further. So when it makes a lower low, lower high, it breaches this area here. Notice how the market continues to stay below that. Once it makes another lower low, this is a minor breach here. The market continues to stay below that. So all of this stuff that happens should not make you think, looks like the buyers are coming in. No, they're still maintaining grounds. The sellers still have the ball in their hand. It's still their turn. Okay, so your mind at that moment is still thinking sell, 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 sell. Okay, and then as the market continues to breach, the sellers stay in control here. Notice how so much time has passed by, but the sellers continue to dominate in here. So we're only thinking in terms of sell. Now there are more variations to this. Okay, we're going to get into that in the other lessons, but I want you to follow the buyers and sellers this way. This helps you keep a sharp eye on what the market is going to do, how they're going to turn, and at what stage should you start thinking for a turn, and at what stage should you start thinking, no, this thing is going to resume and I'm going to keep going with the resumption. Okay, so let's go to some practice examples.